Good morning, Meteorologist Lisa Green here with a look at what we can expect over the course of the next several days. We're in the midst of a very active stretch here, and we'll continue to be watching out for storms, including today. We're watching out for a risk for severe storms on top of what will be that possibility for some severe weather on our first alert weather days, Friday and into Thursday and Friday rather. So here's a look at our first alert headlines. We're looking at conditions that are looking really good. We have really active. We have some conditions that will be getting more active through the day today. We're going to see severe storms moving in from the west. And so afternoon hours for those of us in our western viewing area, more into the evening for those of us in the east. And there could be a couple of kind of rounds of storms for some, and I'll explain that in just a second. And then looking ahead to Thursday rather, we have first alert weather days for Thursday and Friday. Thursday is the day I'm kind of wishy-washy on here. I'm kind of iffy about it because our models are showing timing of that storm, that line of storms that I was watching before, may end up being past midnight, more into the Friday time frame, but still overnight there's a chance into early morning hours on Friday. And then moving on into Friday, this is the day, our first alert weather day, where I think we have the greatest risk, the most significant risk for severe weather throughout the stretch of rounds of storms that we're going to be watching out for here. So let's take a look at what we've got going on. I do want to kind of just go over where we are right now weather-wise. We've still have some wildfire smoke in the area. You can see the yellow on the map here. So we do have moderate air quality. It's not perfect, but it's much better. And look at where that smoke has gone. It's streamed all the way through the Great Lakes and all the way to Boston. So definitely experiencing some conditions that are going to be more on the smoky side in the East Coast at this point, and it's all due to Canadian wildfire smoke. Here's a look at the latest on our surface smoke map. Again, we're more likely to see smoke into eastern parts of our viewing area through the day today, a little clearer out to the west. Again, most of our air coming in out of the southeast, so this is kind of backwash smoke essentially coming back in through the valley with that wind. And then moving into Wednesday morning, you can see that our visibility is looking pretty good, but I'm keeping an eye on this plume right here. That's a chance for some smoke to dip in behind this latest round of storms that we'll be seeing tonight. So again, here we go, looking out for that. So let's take a look at, I'm going to take our view full screen. Let's take a look at outside. You can see our visibility is looking okay. We've got some conditions that are going to be more on the hazy side at the surface. You can see that's not perfectly clear, but we do have some blue sky and some sunshine out there. Current conditions, temperatures are warm. We're into the 70s here already as of about 10:30 this morning, and we're at 73 degrees in Fargo, 73 in Grand Forks. You can see the wind picking up out of the southeast. We have some gusts that are really getting going here. Visibility down a bit over in Carrington and Cavalier, so keep that in mind. And looking at our radar and satellite map, we'll take this a view of the TV here so we can point at some things. We're looking at some areas where we've got this line, this kind of bowing line of thunderstorms, not currently severe, but still producing some probably gusty winds as it's already pushing into our western viewing area. This is the Medina area here where I'm looking at, I'm going to pause that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. One little cell that's starting to pop up here, yeah, right over Medina to the west of Jamestown. So traveling down I-94, already dealing with this. You can see a little blue on the map over by Steele. That's where the radar is indicating there might be a little bit of hail associated with these storms that are moving through. And again, looking out for the potential for some wind gusts associated with this too. So this line is, we'll put that back into motion. This line is moving east-northeast. So James River Valley, be aware up toward New Rockford and Carrington as well. And then this does stretch down all the way into northern parts of South Dakota too. So watching that line here moving into this afternoon. It's 10:30 right now, so it's already approaching some of our western communities heading into midday. Wind is out of the southeast again for most of us. We're seeing some gusts into the 20s to 30 miles per hour, gust to 28 in Fargo. So that's going to be, a breezier day today. Quick look at our wind forecast basically all day. We're talking 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts, wind out of the southeast. pumping in some air that's got some moisture to it, some warmer air as well. So let's track this out on our hour by hour planner here. So this is looking at our map as of about 10:45 this morning, so close to right now. And it looks like this particular model a little bit behind in its arrival. So keep that in mind. That's something we'll want to think about here as we're stepping through our graphics, because it's initializing a little bit delayed compared to what we're actually seeing on the radar at the moment. But it is going to push east. So by 2 o'clock, places in southeastern North Dakota are going to want to watch out for that potential for storms to be impacting you up to Cooperstown, Valley City, down toward more places in the Cheyenne River Valley, down toward Lisbon. Again, this has been a little bit behind, so it might be advanced a little bit farther. Again, this is 2 p.m. Meanwhile, we're in Minnesota. We're doing just fine here today. Now, let's move ahead a little bit more. And you can see by drive time this evening, 5 p.m., we've got storms over the Red River, perhaps some stronger storms on the southern end of this first push of stormy weather. And so some of these could be producing, again, some large hail and some wind gusts associated with them. And we do need to keep an eye out for the development of tornadic storms again today in some areas. This is not for the entire valley, and we'll go over that in just a second. But just sticking with that timeline, we're going to see those storms crossing over into the Red River around that time into Minnesota and then moving east. And that line does weaken. You can see it's not intense at all by the time we get to 9 o'clock. But what's going on here? We've got a second round that's developed and is moving through that has the potential to produce severe storms. This is 9 p.m. So again, eastern North Dakota seeing this second round moving in and this second line, and that's going to press eastward into late tonight. So by 1 o'clock, things are quieting down in eastern North Dakota, but we're still seeing some stormy weather in Minnesota, but notice it weakens again as it moves into Minnesota. I know that we've got some early campers, early bird campers for the WeFest concerts here for this week, starting tonight. And so just be aware, you're going to have that chance for some rain and thunderstorms here for tonight. And those continue to, again, roll east. That model ran out, so we've got this second one, this a little bit longer range model showing there's still that possibility into Wednesday morning for some of these spotty showers and thunder showers ongoing. So Wednesday morning, we'll start off with that potential. But that's kind of this first round that we're talking about here for this week. We are looking for the greatest risk for severe right where it's starting up in the James River Valley area and parts of the Cheyenne too. And this is a level 2 slight risk. So this is our highest risk area in the valley. Fargo, Grand Forks, we are in the marginal risk. This is also including northeastern North Dakota, back down into Lakes Country. And again, these are weakening as they move eastward, so more non-severe type storms over the next, through 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So the greatest threats afternoon, right now, into the afternoon and into the overnight hours tonight before it weakens by morning. So looking at our individual threats. Now I mentioned not everybody needs to be concerned about tornadoes. It is a possibility, but large hail and high winds are going to be our greater focal points here. So let's get into each one. Here's the tornado threat for today. We've got a low risk for a lot of places in some of those same areas under that slight risk for the overall severe weather threat. Devil's Lake, Jamestown, pushing into more parts of southeastern North Dakota. The risk is a little higher, so this is the legend here. It gets higher as you go from left to right. So in this brown kind of color here, isolated risk more for Ellendale, Edgeley areas down toward Aberdeen. That's where the threat will be greatest here for the potential for a tornado. And then areas in black, that's where we're not looking at no risk, or the risk is very minimal in these locations. So the greatest threat will be in the west here for tonight, this afternoon and into tonight. Hail threat today, that spreads a little farther east. It's a low end risk, but we're still looking at potential for elevated to isolated risk for hail. And the wind threat as well. We're looking at winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour for today. So that's our threat here. We're watching for hail, we're watching for wind, and it's going to be more eastern North Dakota focused. Not that we won't see strong storms in Minnesota, but the greatest risk is in eastern North Dakota, especially southeastern North Dakota. Though, as you saw there, that tornado threat does stretch up toward Devil's Lake. So we're going to track that throughout the day today. I'll do another update on the noon show on KX coming up here in about an hour and a half or so. We'll be tracking that throughout the morning. Any warnings, of course, will be there for you, keeping you up to date. And so then let's look ahead to our first alert weather days. We raised first alert weather days for Thursday and Friday yesterday. It was looking like Thursday night, and then again on Friday, we would see that potential for rain and thunderstorms. So more into the second part of the day or even overnight hours. And then watching for all modes of severe, both days, especially Friday. And there's some forecast uncertainty and timing. And in fact, today, I'm thinking that the risk for Thursday night might not be looking as great because of the timing. It looks like now storms may be more into the early morning hours on Friday rather than Thursday night. So we're going to keep that first alert weather day for now, but don't be surprised if we drop it if that trend continues here for Thursday. So let's take a look at our forecast for the next several days, hour by hour. I'm going to zip through today's because we just did this. This is from this morning. You can see these storms rolling through. Heading into this evening, you can see this is 7:30 tonight. That maybe 1-2 punch in places in southeastern North Dakota, and then more widespread areas of rain and thunder with that second punch. But it does weekend overnight. Let's move ahead into Wednesday. This is Wednesday morning, some lingering showers and thunder showers. And then, the rest of Wednesday may be okay, or at least quieter if you are heading out to get your camp set up on Wednesday. I know it's kickoff on Wednesday for WeFest. I can't rule out an isolated storm, but the chance is lower on Wednesday. It's looking quieter for us here. Now, moving on into Thursday, rather. Thursday looks like pretty quiet. It's just going to be hot and steamy. We're really going to have those temperatures and dew points rise on Thursday. And so once we get into the evening hours, again, our models are really holding off on bringing in storms on Thursday now. So this is midnight, and it really isn't until overnight, until the very early morning hours on Friday. It might not be till daybreak, but we may see a round of storms move through that are stronger to severe in the morning hours. And then we're watching for later in the day on Friday for the evening. And so this would be a time frame that would impact our concert goers for Friday evening and late night for the overnight hours Friday night that we're watching out for severe. And again, that's our day that looks most significant, and I'll show you that in a moment. But this is more Storm Prediction Center risks that they put out. So, they do a standard 1, 2, and 3 day risk. And then there's an experimental risk suite that they put out between 4 and 8 days. Of course, we know that the certainty is less as the farther out you go. We talked about this a little yesterday if you were watching this live yesterday, but it's been showing up here consistently. So I just want to mention that. Here's to day 2. This is Wednesday's risk. We're looking out for a marginal risk. Wednesday morning, you can see southern end of the valley carrying on from storms that'll be happening overnight tonight. And then heading into Thursday night, again, maybe overnight hours into daybreak on Friday. But there is a marginal risk for that time frame from 7 a.m. on Thursday through 7 a.m. on Friday is what this covers. And then everybody has a chance for storms. And then moving into Friday, this is that day 4 risk that we've been talking about. And we're talking about every place in the valley pretty much under that potential for severe storms. Our hazards a little more elevated, a little more significant with this round. Right now is what it's looking like with tornadoes possible, larger hail, golf ball size hail. Could see some wind gusts to 70 miles per hour. So Friday, we want to watch this closely on our first alert weather day. And just a reminder here, I'll pull this up full screen, that we want to make sure that we are prepared. And so number 1 is making sure that you can be informed. So if you're at WeFest, if you're anywhere away from your regular location where you get your weather information, make sure you've got multiple ways to be alerted. Your phone is great because you can have wireless emergency alerts turned on your phone, in addition to the Valley News Live weather app, having it set to alert you where you are. So you've got 2 ways to get alerted just in case on your phone. In addition, of course, a NOAA weather radio. They make portable hand crank radios that you can check in on if you're going to be away from electrical outlets. Know what the plan is for where you are. Know where your emergency shelters are when and if a warning is issued. And know when or how and why your outdoor sirens are used in your county or your community. It's different from place to place too. So just some things to remember here as we're looking ahead to a stormy week this week. And, in addition to that, of course, we'll be keeping you updated here on the latest information too throughout the week as well. Let's take a quick look at our extended planner. Temperatures are going to be on the rise, getting into the mid to upper 80s by the end of the week. It's going to be getting steamy as well. And again, just kind of going over our timeline, we have that chance for strong to severe storms tonight. Right now and tonight, through tonight. And then again, Wednesday morning, still lingering into the morning. I think our best chance at a break is Wednesday, the second part of the day, especially Wednesday night, and then again into most of the day on Thursday. We'll see on the timing on arrival of storms. It may hold off until very early morning hours on Friday, but still keeping that possibility of storms on Thursday night. And then Friday afternoon, evening, and nighttime storms for the valley. And a timeline on that will get nailed down closer to Friday with that risk for severe storms. And maybe some storms lingering into Saturday as well. We'll cool down this weekend back into temperatures in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. So that's a look at what we've got going on here. Just a reminder, we have risks for storms today, severe weather today, and we've got our 2 first alert weather days, Thursday and into Friday. So we'll continue to watch this. Again, I'm tracking storms right now. We are watching some of those moving through as we speak into places like the Medina area and western parts of Stutsman County. I'm just checking to see if we have any comments, any questions going on here before I go away. But I will be doing, again, an update at noon on the latest forecast, and I will be tracking those storms for you as well. And again, we're already starting to see some push into the west. No current warnings, but there is the potential for hail, damaging wind gusts. And again, watching for that tornado threat as this event evolves. More centrally located in North Dakota and in South Dakota, but some of us in our western viewing area are included in that risk for tornadoes for today. So stay safe, everybody, and stay informed. We'll continue to keep you posted as each round of storms moves through this week.